Okay, guys and girls, I've been using Bluewater lights on my boat, all those pretty blue lights inside. When you raise the lid, the lights come on. Those pretty blue lights that are in my power poles. I've been using those for years, and I've also been using them on my trucks. This company is a T&H Marine company now. I've been using Bluewater since before they were a T&H company. But we always had folks install them for us. So Jamie says, Dad, we can do that.
You bet.
And so that's what we're going to do. So we're going to show you how to install some strip lights. We're going to put green strip lights up on my running boards, and we're going to put a red strip light back in my tailgate. We're going to show you how to do it very, very easily and quickly, right?
You bet.
You
bet.
bet.
Don't have much time for dark, so
It's about to get dark on us. Okay, Jamie, we're going to go on that rail we was looking at earlier down there.
Yeah, I think so. This bottom, there's kind of a little lip here. Kind of help us kind of line it up straight.
Yeah, that way we'll be straight right down there. And be close. We ought to be able to wire it right back in between
those
the truck
LEDs. If you get a little hinky in it, and I probably will, that it really stands out when it's lit up.
Yeah. I've noticed that on my dock. If we have a little crooked, it always stands out.
So once we got our sight, we got some little alcohol swabs.
And those are just lens cleaners for, those are, what brand are they? Some kind of lens cleaners?
Zeiss.
Zeiss, yeah, Zeiss binoculars.
We
Zeiss
think they're
scopes,
just good alcohol. They smell like alcohol. We'll try.
I think they'll work. I think they're alcohol.
I think they'll work.
We use them on sunglasses and obviously scopes and binoculars.
Just clean it up good.
That's one of the critical things right there. Getting that clean, and then also having it good and straight. Just alcohol wipes. About everybody's got them this day and time. You get them when you get on airplanes. You get them in hotel rooms. You just I always carry one or two in my pocket. But the ones that you get, you kind of be careful because a lot of them got hand cream in them.
Yeah.
Which now that's not going to stick good if you do that. So you just want really pretty much alcohol wipes works real good. Which I think that's what those, obviously they're not going to have hand cream in ones that's used for
Or just
glasses.
rubbing alcohol works too.
Yeah.
Alcohol. I like to use Berryman's carburetor cleaners to clean when I put stuff on normally. Because it cleans off about everything. And at the shop we have lots of that around. So. And obviously we're not at the shop.
We're not at the shop. We're on Sherry and Jack's driveway. Anytime you need me to hold something, holler at me. I'll lock this off and do whatever. That's a real critical step. You can see how many times Jamie's gone over that. That's got to be really, really, really clean because the Bluewater lights are stick-on lights. I mean, so they're two-sided tape, and so they will actually stick on. You don't have to drill anything or put anything on there like that, and it's just a matter of wiring them into your light system, really. So Jamie's really working hard to get that really, really clean.
The cleaner the better.
Perfectly clean, we will say.
In good shape now. Well, we just found us a spot, kind of figured out where we wanted to go, and then gonna kind of fudge so our wires aren't exposed quite as bad. Just aesthetics more than anything, and plus it will secure them.
Can we get in there and hold it, or are you good?
We're good. We'll just go a little at a time. So I think we'll go.
You can go around that corner a little bit, or?
Yeah, and go up here.
And we've actually moved these when I take this back to Expressway and get another truck. We've actually moved them from truck to truck, which makes it a little bit more difficult because you have to, put new double-sided tape on them. Obviously, they come with the double-sided tape. And of course, we turn these trucks back in and get another one. So if you had one, keep a truck for 3, 4, 5 years. Like
I found two, just going little sections at a time. As opposed to peeling off the...
Very much. What you're doing, it looks like about 8 or 10 inches.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, about that. And do the same thing like on doing the boat lights or the trailer lights.
Yeah.
And it's nice when you got kind of just a natural line there to...
Which is the reason we picked that spot.
Right, exactly.
It's going to be a nice spot. It's going to be a nice spot, and also we got the straight line. It helps if you're younger like Jamie. You're getting older every day, aren't you, son?
Yeah. Getting harder to get up.
And it's sort of, you can tell it, can't you?
Yeah.
A guy told me that he didn't notice much difference when he turned 70, but he said when he turned 80, life changed for him. But now, I don't know. I got two buddies, Bill and Roland. They're both 82, and they're going 100 miles an hour, both of them. especially rolling. Woo. Bill's going pretty strong too, though. Now I'm not 80 yet, so I don't worry about that.
Getting closer though.
Cross that bridge when I get to it. Closer every day.
Yeah.
You're getting closer every day to 80 also, son.
I was wondering how old they were.
Actually, Roland turned 82 back in March, and Bill turns 82, I think, in November. So he's really, Roland's several months, ahead of Bill, but they're both born in 1940. So they're 82. But when Bill turns 82, it's not long until Roland turns 83. So.
Put it higher than we're going to. But
do what, son?
Put it actually on the next rib up from where I intended to.
Really?
But
that's all right.
It'll be okay.
That's okay. It didn't take long to get that strip in there.
No.
You go back through there and it's sort of just like put a decal on. You just kind of retouching up there with your thumb, pushing it in real good.
And really, this part is the quickest part, actually. What takes a little time, and it's just like on a boat, is running all your wiring.
Yeah. But here we're going to hook up to wires that are already there.
Yeah, but you still got to get to the back.
That's right. Yeah. And we get where we hook up to it. So when we turn the lights on, these lights here, the lights in the tailgate's going to come on. And what we did in ordering these from Bluewater, we measured the length of that running board and got one that's about the length of the running board. It's just almost they custom make all of the, I guess, and they make some standard lengths that you can buy at Bass Pro Shop in Cabela's.
All right, that side is stuck on.
Cool. That didn't take long at all.
We can go to stick the other side, and then we'll run our wires, I guess.
Okay. Wow, Jamie, it's a lot easier than I thought it'd be.
Yeah, it is. It's not difficult at all.
Yeah, I mean, I had to hardly work up a sweat or anything. All right, and all we're going to do right here is simply go over do the exact same thing. I mean, we got one side done. I use that real easily. Yeah. But I tell you what I'm going to do, Jamie. I'm going to go over and pick up all the packages, the packages from the
that's the hardest part.
From the Zeiss glass cleaners. Yeah, that's a difficult job. It doesn't take a lot of talent, but it's a pretty difficult job. Yeah. So I'll let Jamie work on that while I go do my job, clean up. One thing about doing things on two sides, like decals or lights or whatever, you can only look at one side at a time. It's not necessary that they be exactly perfectly the same on both sides. One could be a little bit further forward or a little bit further back, and no one will ever know the difference. But since these strips are cut, these light strips are cut for those running boards, it ought to work out pretty good.
Yeah. Stock trailers, whatever, wherever you need some light.
Yeah, and wherever you need the light.
The white ones, work very good.
You use the white one, of course. They work good for, when it's dark. These are just decoration and tricking it out a little bit. But it's a nice, inexpensive way to kind of set your truck apart from everybody else's. Go.
All right, these lights obviously have to have power.
Yep.
So about all the new trucks now have the 7-way, which most boat trailers, that's all they use, and then the regular flat like we used for years.
Put the flat connector on there.
The flat connector's where we're going, because everything you tow, you don't ever use your flat with.
Right.
So obviously, if you ever had to, it'll just unplug and hang there, and your lights wouldn't work.
Right.
So what you're gonna have to get wires from there to each side of the lights, and we'll tie it all in back here. So I've just got double-stranded, 18-gauge wire. So I'll just crawl under, start feeding it through back there, and do it on both sides to bring it back to here.
Okay.
And then we'll tie them together. So I'm going down underneath.
All right.
And obviously, when you're running your wires, you want to, if you can, find another wire loom that's already there to secure your wires to, because you don't want them getting against the muffler.
Wire loom is something you can stick the wires in, so something's already connected there.
Well, loom or just zip tie them to it. That way, it's a kind of a secure route, and that way you don't have to worry about getting up against
tailpipe or muffler.
The muffler, tailpipe, whatever, and then dragging down on the ground. And so I used to just try and find find the route and run those, and I'll come back with zip ties.
Run the exact same route that's already in there from the manufacturer.
Yeah. And then I'll just come back on with zip ties and secure it down in there once I get it ran through there. All right, I got one wire ran. Now, go to the other side and do the same thing. So on
that side there, all we got to do is just wire it into the flat plug-in.
Yeah, get the plug, yeah, and then hook it up. So we'll run the other side, and we'll get both sides back there, and then we'll plug them up, see.
It's important to use that plug-in. We'll talk about at the end of this video exactly why it's important to use that flat plug-in, where you can, one thing, of course, if you're going to be having to pull a trailer, it's got a flat plug-in, but there's other reasons why you want to be able to plug those in and unplug them as well.
Red to red.
Red to red, because LED lights won't work if they're hooked up backwards.
You have to come and cut it and redo it. Speaking from experience. So first thing you do is check your power. You want to blame the light, but it's usually not the light's fault.
Okay, we're going through the same process over here with our glass cleaner, ice glass cleaner deals, and making sure we get that lip. We've decided to lay it on that lip. It's going to light the whole thing back up, but the lights are actually going to be shining up. And that's a 5-foot strip is what that is right there of Bluewater lights. And we're going to just replicate the exact same thing once we've got a place, and you just want to make some way where you can kind of be able to follow a straight line on it. That's one of the main things. So find a spot where you can follow as you go down. You're not going uphill or downhill. Got something to follow as you do.
There, kind of back lip of that.
Yeah. And of course, once you turn those lights on and it's dark, obviously, a little bit of light. Those are LEDs, Bluewater LEDs. Okay, we rigged up a little light. We rigged up a little bit of light on our iPhone. We got a nice little deal that Jamie actually got me for Christmas that we got rigged up on the iPhone. And what are you doing now, Jamie? We're back to we got all the wires run. We're just gonna, go ahead.
About to tie them all together. And I made me a little pigtail wire. I don't know where I did. There it is.
Here we go.
Got one wire where I'm gonna bring it out to go into the plug. And then I'll tie, let's see here.
As you can tell, we've run out of daylight. But you're going to work with the lights, you want it to be dark so you can see how they're working, right?
Right. Okay, so
we'll run that up over and come over the top of that.
We'll be able to run that. So we can do that here.
Now we're going to need to tie all three together, right?
Right.
Now you can put them on a switch, obviously, off and on switch that you can have up in your truck or wherever you want it. Now what we're going to do is we're going to wire in or plug it right into that top connector there that you see on the right side of that bumper, where we'll just plug it in. We're going to use a flat plug-in or
I got just two little bullet connectors.
Two little bullet connectors.
I think that's going to just take up less space there.
Right, right.
Allow that door to
be able to plug that in.
Close a little bit further.
And one of the reasons you want to plug that in, well, let's go ahead and talk about it right now. One of the reasons you want to have them plugged in if you can, or have them on an off and on switch. Different states have different laws about lighting, and even maybe different municipalities, different counties could have laws about lighting on your vehicles. And so you always want it where if you were to get stopped and the law enforcement was to tell you that you had lights that were not legal, you could just simply unplug them and most likely they won't do anything. It's always good to check and see what your laws are before you start adding lights to boat trailers and camper trailers and pickup trucks. I've run green lights on my running lights, you know, for years and years and years. I've gone by hundreds of highway patrolmen, law enforcement officers, city, county, everything, and no one has ever said anything about those lights. I run them also on my tracker trailers and my Ranger Trail trailers, green lights down on the bottom of them. And I've also, of course, you can add red lights to the back of most of the vehicles and there's no problem because you have red tail lights. So I've never had a problem, but I always have them where I could either flip a switch and turn them off or simply unplug them. Now we figure we've quit using the switch the last few years because since those trucks come with that plug-in on them, well, you can always just simply plug into that, and if something happens and a law enforcement officer says, well, you know, in this area or in this state or in this city, that's not legal, you simply unplug them and go on. And I've never heard of anybody getting a ticket on them. I'm sure some people have, depending on where you might get stopped. But I have never been questioned by it, and I, you know, a lot of law enforcement people fish, and so I visited with lots and lots of law enforcement officers in cities and counties, and obviously state highway patrolmen, and no one has ever said anything about my green lights on my running boards or on my boat trailers, nor the red light that I put in the tailgate, or right around the tailgate area of my Ram truck. Okay, Jamie, now we got the wire coming out, and tell us what you've done under there.
All right, we got all wires coming from both sides. I just made it all to a single wire right here. And I got just a couple bullet connectors as opposed to using a whole plug, because I think it would just give us, not going to allow that door to close all the way.
Now, Jamie, do those bullet connectors now, do they need to be, how do you know what, you got those in the right hole?
They'll only plug in one.
Okay.
Because like on your flats, you got one ground and then 4 hots, depending on which one it is. But obviously your ground will only fit one, but that one you can put it on your turn signals, plug in, and when you turn right, you know, they would all flash or stuff like that.
Right.
So, but on trailer lights, the opposite one is always the ground.
Opposite one from what?
The opposite from the other 3 plugs.
Okay.
You'll have a, well, in that case, you got a male and 3 females.
Right.
And the first female is always your running lights.
Okay.
And the other 2 are your left and right.
Left and right,
yeah.
Okay. So you want to put your ground in and put your, on the first female,
you want on the running lights,
female plug in there. Right.
All right. So I'm going to turn the lights on.
I'm going to back.
Actually, I'm going to hit these headlights off.
Yeah, turn the headlights off. We got Jamie's truck's headlights running over there, and we had our little, we've got our little light running, our little light running here on my camera.
And I'm confident they're going to work. So.
Well, here we go.
Here we go.
The easy install. We're getting ready to find out if lights come on that truck and lights come on the tailgate. Look at there, sports fans. There we go. And there's what we have. There's an easy install right there. There's an easy. Can you go ahead and plug my trailer lights in? We'll show what we got with the trailer, because we got our green lights on the trailer. Yeah. That's an easy install. We started just about an hour before dark, and we have dark caught up on us. So. But
if I'd had the plug, I wouldn't.
Yeah, I had to go up to the marine shop and get the plug. So a couple-hour install there. It's not difficult at all. It probably would have taken me twice that long. But Inspector Gadget there, Jamie, of course, he works with wires and stuff all the time, and we really, for a very inexpensive situation there. Trailer lights have not come on. Did you plug the trailer lights in?
Yeah.
Then come on.
May not be in all the way.
Probably gonna get them in all the way, maybe. There's my trailer lights came on. We may have to take the cover off of that. That may not. Both of them may not go.
May not go.
We've had to do that before. Actually take the cover off in order to plug them both in. Now the only thing is you can get dust and mud and stuff back in that in your plug-in you might have to clean off. But for the most part you can run it without the cover anyway. The cover's there for a reason, obviously, to keep them clean.
There we go.
There you can see how our boat trailer is with our indirect lighting there. That the lights are down on the boat trailer, shines up on the boat. Got on both sides of the boat trailer as well as back on the back. And like I said, now if somebody was to, you be in an area where maybe it's illegal to have your lights rigged up this way. There we go, got them all on, got the truck turned off. And you can see just how slick it is right there. That's just a pretty slick outfit. Walk back here at the back. We've got green lights on the trailer on the back also. You can see them under there on the back. Those trailers are facing down to the ground, so it kind of makes them indirect lighting. You can see our step pads over there lit up, so if you happen to be getting in your truck at night, you got lights there on your step pads. And that's an easy way to trick your truck up. Easy install. Bluewater LED lights.
Wasn't hard for you at all, was it?
I know, it was easy for me. I mean, it's one of the easiest jobs I've ever done. Having Jamie around makes it really, really, really handy. BluewaterLED.com if you want to check those lights out. Quite a deal. Thank you, son.